Hey everyone, Bob here, Overland Citrus. Welcome to my channel. So today we got the new alternator in from Charging Pros. It's a Belmar or Balmar. This is the brand new one. So you're going to need that, and that's from Charging Pros. His name is Dale English. He is like a professor of charging systems. I called him on Friday. He had it shipped out. I called him at 9 a.m. on Friday. He had it shipped out by noon. I had a tracking number, and because of the weekend, I received it today at about 11 a.m., which is Monday. So we're going to get ready to go and put that in. And over the weekend, I didn't film it, but I dropped the old one out just so we'd be ready to install a new one. And you're also going to want to get one of these. He sells them, keeps them in stock. It's from Balmar too. It's an alternator protection module. They're about $80, and the alternator shipped to the house is about $700. They're not cheap. And then the belt is a Gates belt, and I got that right at our local O'Reilly's, and I'm going to leave a link for every single one of these pots so you'll know what to have. Now, before I start the installation, I just want to tell you that Thor will not warranty it if you do what I'm doing and put it in yourself. I talked to them today. They won't do it. And the other thing is that I found out that most Mercedes Sprinters have a 2 or a 3 belt system. I have a 2 belt system. So that means that I could have just cut that belt off if your alternator is done and frozen, like mine was, and drive that van across the country. No, you will not be charging your lithium batteries. The only way to be charging is from solar or plugging in. But you will be able to drive the van, so that's a plus. So remember, just cut the belt and get rid of it, and that's going to take that. The other thing you want to check that Dale told me at Charging Pros is the number one culprit for burning out an alternator is the battery terminals on the lithium batteries are loose. He said sometime they get loose, and that tends to have the alternator surging, which creates heat. So you're going to want to check your connections on your lithium batteries, even if you're not having a problem. You should go check that. And then he did say that this alternator module is probably going to solve that from ever happen again, but he's not 100% sure. There's nothing 100% sure in this world. But he says it does a pretty good job at what it does. And low idling really does hurt the alternators with the lithium. So as you guys follow my channel, you see I put a high idle kit in. So you're better off to high idle your van either with a kit or step on the gas pedal. You're better off because it cools the alternator a lot better than if it's idling. And Charging Pros, Dale is out of Tennessee. So it depends where you live. I live in Florida, so that was pretty quick. And then you're going to need a idler pulley tool because there's just enough room to get in there, and it's a special one. It's a Torx 55 on the end, and it's called a T55 idle pulley tool, specially made for Mercedes. You're going to need that. You're not going to be able to get the new belt on without that tool. And then it's got 2 bolts that hold it in. You're going to need an 11/16 socket for the 2 alternator bolts. And yes, I know it's Mercedes, but trust me, fits perfect. And then the ground bolt on the back of the alternator, you're going to need, excuse the hesitation, 10 millimeter socket to put the ground bolt on. And then for the positive bolt on the alternator, it is a 1/2 inch. Now, they might all be American because this alternator is made in America. So just because it's in a Mercedes van, I think that's why I'm using all American size tools. So you don't need much to put it on. You might need a couple wire ties, and that's it. So I'm going to crawl under there. I'm going to get set up. I'm going to show you where we're going to do it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film actually installing it because there is a very tight spot. It's a very easy install, but it's very tight, and I don't know if my hands, the alternator, and the camera can all fit in there in one spot. But I will show you where it all goes and what we're going to be doing underneath the van. So let's go take a look under the van. Okay, not sure how good you can see it. This is the bottom mount. Alternator goes in here. This is the top mount. Here's your belt. And then this is the wire. I put tape on it because it's positively charged. Even if you shut your main battery switch off on your van, there's still power here. So you just want to remember that. Put some tape on it, or you'd have to go disconnect it from the lithium batteries. So first thing we're going to do is get to work, see if we get this belt shoved up in there. Okay, so the new alternator's in. Got it all buttoned up. Let me swing around. You can look at the module. You'll see how the light's green. As long as the light's green, it's working. And we got that all buttoned up. Now we just got to get the fan belt on. Okay, so the van's all back together. Everything's installed. Fire up, everything looks good. We got our fingers crossed that alternator module solves the problem of overcharging. I did check. I do have an overheating monitor on there that when it builds too much amps, it automatically, the system should shut that down. So I don't know if I just had a faulty alternator altogether. And we did check the terminals on the lithium battery. They were both tight. So I will leave a link in the description, like I've said previously in the description. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to inbox me, and I'd be glad to help you out with it. So thanks for watching. As I always say, drive safe, camp safe, and this time I'll say repair safe, and peace out.